It is indeed a big day for PDP. Well, let me start with Victor. What do you feel for Secondus right now?
Well, what will I say for him? I think the only thing that I will say to the PDP is for them to call for a dialogue so that he can withdraw the case, because it's not a complete victory for PDP. They may go, actually they are already going ahead with the convention. But at the end of the day, if Uche Secondus wins at the Supreme Court, because they are threatening to go to the Supreme Court, whatever the PDP will do today will come to nullity. So if truly that they are democratic as they claim to be, they should call him and appeal to him to withdraw the case. That is the only solution to this problem, because as I've said before, as Secondus has threatened to go to the Supreme Court, if actually he goes there and he wins there, whatever the PDP does today will become a nullity, and that will affect the party immensely, because 2023 is around the corner. So they should do everything to talk to him so that he withdraws the case.
Yes,
from the so that he doesn't go to Supreme Court.
With 2023 elections coming up, this is definitely not the time to be having intra-party
because it's not a finality. The decision of the court is not a finality, as Uche Secondus has said. So as a party member who has enjoyed the party to this extent, being a chairman of a national party for 4 good years, a party that has led this country for 16 years, they should be able to talk to themselves. This issue of going to court every now and then, it doesn't speak well for a party that has led the country for 16 years. They should be able to do things to solve their problem without going to the court, because at the court level, especially at the Supreme Court level, which is the finality of all court proceeding, once he gets the victory over there, whatever they will do at the convention will be turned upside down. So it's not going to speak well for the party.
Yes, that won't be nice. And well, PDP seems to be very optimistic with the coming 2023 election that they would emerge winner. So Emeka, how would you rate their chances?
Why not? Of course, every politician goes into elections, it's a battle. It's a battle. I mean, for many of them, like I've said many times, they don't have a second address. Politics is the only address they have. It's the only office they have. It's the only job they have. The only vocation they have. So, of course, it's about the platform and also about the popularity of the person. So I think PDP is in good set. But I think also PDP needs to do something about the high turnover of chairmen. From the inception of PDP in 1998 till date, I mean, I think Secondus should be about the 16th or 17th national chairman. So that means, the turnover has been quite high. So they need to do something about it. That is one. But again, I think Secondus typifies what is called, what people describe Nigerian politicians as bad losers and bad winners. Nigerian politician wins is victory for democracy. Everything is good. When he loses out, he or she loses out, it's injustice, impunity. Heavens have to fall, heads must roll. And why? Because it's about consensus. Because it's about building, interest. It's about pursuing common interest. So if Secondus can cast his mind back to how he became national chairman, Professor Tunde Adenuran, former Minister of Education, was primed to be the PDP national chairman. But somehow, I think, based on negotiations and consensus building, they asked Tunde Adenuran to step aside. If you remember, Gbenga Daniel, former governor of Ogun State, was also a strong contender. But, they were all asked to step down their ambitions for Secondus. If you remember, they had a nickname, Total Chairman.
Yeah, but do you feel that that in a way would influence defection to another party?
Defection by Secondus. You see, that's why I say Nigerian politicians are bad losers and bad winners. Look, that it doesn't favor you today doesn't mean it won't favor you tomorrow. You cannot win all the time. We have a good example of, in Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, former President Goodluck Jonathan. He lost an election and he said nobody should die because I lost election. Don't worry, there's always a better day ahead. We must not destroy the party because of our personal ambitions, because the interest of the party overrides every personal interest. So instead of being a bad loser, I think Secondo should not go to the Supreme Court. He should relax. He's a former national chairman. He's like the governor of Adamawa State, Fintiri, said, his tenure still subsists up till December 10. So I think instead of trying to destroy the party, allow the convention to go ahead, because the court said he didn't plead, he didn't raise any issues about his suspension at the ward and state levels, which are fundamental issues. So, which I thought maybe he would have challenged, because some people have been pushing the fact that the PDP constitution does not allow for the suspension of members, of the NEC. But that is one side. But the other side of it is that I think he should just 4 years. He has tried 4 years. He should join hands in building the party. He can become a governor tomorrow. He can become a senator. There are so many things. There are other things he can become.
I need to come to Victor. Do you feel like Secondo still has a lot to offer to PDP?
Well, what are they even offering in the first place? No, to me, just because somebody must occupy a position.
Yes.
That is what we have in Nigeria. So since 1960, if we have politicians that have been offering something, will the country be the way it is?
No.
The answer is no. So it is not for them to offer anything. It is because there should be no vacuum. That's what we have in Nigeria. Not that one person is going to perform any miracle. If they are going to perform miracle, by now, Nigeria would have been better than Dubai. Nigeria would have been better. But to your mind, from your age, since you were born to this country and you can be able to read and write, have you seen any improvement in this country? Have you seen any growth? The answer is no. In 1993, the issue of subsidy.
A lot of people would argue with that.
No, they may argue, but people will always argue. But does that remove the fact? We are all feeling the pinch now. We are all feeling the pain in this country. Whether you argue in favor or not, you are feeling the way. If you go to market, nobody is going to give you a bag of rice simply because you are praising government. You must bring money from your pocket to buy it.
Sure.
So people can deceive themselves that we have performing politicians everywhere. But by the time they take their children to school, the proprietor or proprietress will ask for the children's school fees. And it is that time we know that we don't have government. Because in other countries, once you have children that have school age, government takes responsibility. Do we have that here? Look at the issue of fuel subsidy. It started in 1993. I still have the magazines at home. Today we are still talking about fuel subsidy. So Nigeria is a country where nobody solves problem. Once you are fortunate to be in government, you struggle to get whatever you can get. It's a national cake. It's like when they are doing birthday, they place the cake on the table. They will cut it. Those who are the high table will take first. Is it not so? Well, if you are on the floor, before it gets to you, if you are fortunate, it gets to you. If you are not fortunate, it will not get to you.
So
there is nothing special. There is nothing special about Sokondos or Buhari or any governor. They are not doing anything. This is a country of 61 years old. We are still grappling with 3,500 megawatts. So if they are performing, will it be so? Look at all the roads. They are bad. So it's not about one man is going to perform, because if he's there, he's going to perform. What is he going to perform? It's not in this country. I have been born in this country more than 50 years now. I have never enjoyed anything. Have you enjoyed anything? Okay. I'm much older than you. Can you testify that you have enjoyed anything since you were born in this country?
So
that is the issue. So it's not about Sokundos, whether Sokundos or whatever his name. It's not. Nobody is going to perform anything. It's about like a computer, garbage in, garbage out. This one goes in, he struggles to get whatever he can get for his children, he goes away. That is what Nigeria is all about. So nobody is going to perform anything.
It's about time we try to change something about that setting. Everyone just wants a share of the national cake, and then when you're done, you go. What will happen when we finish the cake? You can't
change it. It is difficult to change. It is difficult to change the system in Nigeria. Why? Because we are divided people. As we are all suffering in this country now, some people have not gotten groundnut and garri to drink. I see clapping for the government that is doing well, where people are being slaughtered every day, blood is flowing. every day. Some people will tell you that the government is doing well, that the previous government did not perform. So if the previous government did not perform, why did you vote out that previous government? Why didn't you allow that previous government to remain? You voted that previous government away because you felt that he did not perform. So this one should not perform, and you are making reference to the same government that you have voted away that they did not perform. So why do you have this government? So the issue is that we are so divided. One fifth of what is happening in this country cannot happen in other countries, and you will not see massive protests going on. Look at Sudan now. They are now protesting. It was protest that removed the former president. Protest. But today when you call for protest, what will happen? This one, I'm a Yoruba, I'm Igbo, I'm Hausa, I'm Urobo, I'm Ishekiri.
To be fair,
so those are the issues.
Protests recently where race, gender, none of it mattered, and everyone was trying to protest against.
Did it last?
It did not last.
Did it last?
But in this case, you know, I mean, well, I think I concede to Uche Secondos. He's right to go to court to seek redress, but you see, courts don't really decide political issues fairly. You know, appeals were made to him. My colleague said they should try to reach out to him. They've reached out to him. David Mark, Saraki, and others reached out to him and said, let's not rock the boat. We have less than a year to produce presidential candidate. The presidential candidate for 2023. We shouldn't be talking about administrative office, because office of national chairman is not the, you know, it's not that office that will determine who becomes the candidate. It is certain powerful interests that will sit down and say, this is it. Oh yeah, Mr. Chairman, go and announce, whether it's by direct primaries or by direct primaries or by consensus. So whether you are, like I said it, I said it on this table when Adams Shomole had a seminar. I said, look, that, you know, you should not take this thing beyond the fact of the matter that it's an administrative position. You know, like my colleague said, somebody has to occupy the office. You should look at the bigger picture, the larger picture. Yes, the chairman of the party, is national chairman, is supposed to be firmly in control, but that is not the case. Do you have a budget? No. Do you have votes? No. Do you control security votes? No. It's the governors that control security votes. Then at the national level, it's whoever is the president that controls the national leadership.
They did accuse him that when he was a chairman, that was when they recorded most defections.
Yeah, that's another issue. You see, Secondos didn't wake up to say governors should start leaving the party. Because, for instance, when former Senate President Bukola Saraki, Dr. Bukola Saraki was interviewed recently, of course, he said they weren't surprised that the governors of Ebonyi and Cross River left. Because you could see at a point, the governor of Cross River wasn't even attending meetings. Or PDP governors, he always found a convenient excuse to stay away. So you knew that one had his own agenda. He had his hidden agenda. You know, that of Ebonyi, it's very clear. He wants to be running mate. You know, he wants to get the vice presidential ticket of any party that's ready to fight. But he wasn't sure he could get it on the platform of PDP. So that's why I went to APC. But even in the APC, there are stories that, he can't even get anything like that. So that's the nature of politics. Politics is such that it's fluid. It might not be in your interest today. Overnight, like they say in American politics, that, you know, in politics, 24 hours is a long time. So things might just suddenly change. And then you bounce back to reckoning. But to me, I'm not a member of the PDP. I don't belong to any party. But you see, as a journalist, you know, who has been reporting, you know, issues for so many years, I think it will be in his own interest to let his term run out. Work with it, step away honorably. You've not been removed, you're not being removed because you stole money or whatever. You know, even though you are being accused, you know, of not managing the party's successes in the 2019 election, but that is still, it's still open. It's a conjecture, because what were other people doing? You have party leaders, you have other governors. Why didn't they stop there? The acting chairman of APC is a governor, and he has been able to bring in how many governors? So why didn't governors in PDP also try to bring in governors instead of losing governors?
No.
So secondos can't take all of the blame. So that's why I think he should, at this point, consider the overall interest of the party. Calm down. Let it go. Let it go. Things will shape up.